What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another YouTube video where today we're going to be talking about the mistakes people often make with live cards. If you've ever watched one of my Twitch streams, I talk about this all the time and I'm repeating myself every few days, it seems like. I thought, why not make a video for you guys where you can just refer to or I can send people to instead of having to repeat. Don't hold your live cards into a game under any circumstances. Okay, that's rule number one. You never hold a live card into the game. I don't care if they're the favorite, the underdog, it's a tie. You do not gamble. Gambling is the first mistake people make with these live cards, okay? I'm going to get into this video right now. I'm going to show you all the reasons why you shouldn't hold cards into the games and all the other mistakes people make all the time that you should not make, okay? So first of all, let's get into it. This is the Road to the Finals team. If you looked at this team a few weeks ago, you would have seen some crazy prices. I'm currently recording this video a week early as I'm currently skiing. If the prices are out of date, but everything will still mean the same thing. But 3 weeks ago, this guy was 240k. Who else was really high? This guy was like 1.5, I think. He was 1.3. This guy was way high. But let's get into a card by card basis because there's a lot of things which happened, right? First of all, we're going to start off with Mr. Lucas Moura. You can see here, they played AC Milan. They were 1-0 down when this card came out, I believe. And people were like, oh, you know what? Maybe they have a chance. Maybe they can pull it back. They drew the game 0-0 and they got knocked out. Anyone that held into that game, they got destroyed. And we're going to see that. Look how much he rose in the hype for the game, but you should have cashed out before the game. Game time here, 233, the peak pretty much, right? That's when you should have sold before the game. An hour or two before the game is the safest thing. These days it seems to be 24 hours before is even safer. And look at the fall, 230, 240, all the way down to 50k. He has since rebounded. That's when I buy the card. I buy after the game. Every time I buy in the hype and sell in the hype. Sell before the game, I buy after the game. I never hold it during the game. You can reaction trade. If Tottenham scored during the game, I would have bought a Lucas Moura if I was free, and I would have been able to ride it out and sell it for profit. But this is why you never hold into the game. The risk reward ratio is not there. You've lost what, 200k almost a card here? It's insane. And as you can see from here, we did start to buy this card here. At 55, I got a ton, and look where he is now. He slowly rebounds, and the reason for that is he's a very, very usable card. That is why Lucas Moura rebounded. Same story here with Marlon. However, Marlon is not as usable. Marlon is strictly fodder. Exact same situation, except they were actually winning the first leg. People had real belief in them. And guess what happened? The same thing happened. Chelsea scored a goal first. He started to go down. And then... Chelsea scored a goal first. And he started to go down. And Chelsea scored another one. And then the game ended and they were knocked out. And this card went all the way down. And just this one did not recover. Because Marlon is nowhere near as usable as Lucas Moura. Teams, he's simply fodder. Even though his stats are decent, he's just fodder. And you'll see this next to no recovery. Fodder is kind of high right at this current moment in time, so he's risen a little bit. That's a fodder card. Now we have Felipe Anderson. This card has had some very, very strange movements. The average person, but to me, it all makes sense. So, he rose in the hype. We get to the game day. I believe this is the game here. For them to qualify, and guess what happened? They actually won. But they were a big favorite. The big favorite won, they went through, and what happened? The card got dumped to 60k. Why was that? Because people were buying the card hoping for a rise after the game, but everyone expected them to win. It wasn't a surprise. So all the investors were hoping for the same thing. They didn't see him rise, and they were like, you know what? We need to all panic sell together. And when they all panic sell on top, if it doesn't sell after 1 hour, it's going to go cheaper the next hour, and it's going to keep dropping. So that's what happens. Then you buy once it's finished dropping, which is hard to time, but we do that on Twitch all the time. And guess what happens again? I think they actually lost that leg. I believe they actually lost. Or did they not play that week? I don't know. Oh, no, sorry. This is where they lost the leg here. They started to get panicked in the lead up to the game this time because obviously we had new Premier Leagues. And bang. He was already 54k before the game and they actually lost. This card actually went even lower. And now, today is Thursday. He's probably playing. He's up to 60k. And that's why you never hold into the game. The risk is not there. The risk reward ratio is not there. We have Atal. We rose nicely in the lead up to the game. A little bit panic selling due to market fluctuations, got low, and then I'm not too sure what happened here, but as you can see here, I can't actually remember what happened with the Tar, not gonna lie. But you can see on Thursday when he will have played, he went down after, right? He didn't go up. So basically, you don't want to be buying and holding into the game. Look, the perfect time to sell was Monday. Monday market rises, Tuesday market rises. Those tend to be the peak, as you've seen in my other video. Raspadori now. This is a great one. So this card was way too cheap when he got released. Got price range fixed, went up. And this is what happened on the game. The game happened and they won, and guess what happened? He went down. But then he slowly went up again, and then obviously market fluctuations, and he stayed flat. And then where's the second leg over here? Second leg was yesterday for me, the day before. 325 before the game, 325k, and bang, down. Look at him now. 325 before the game, and you know what happened in the Napoli game? I'm pretty sure they won 3-0, and they went through like 5-0 on aggregate. This card, you could have sold before the game for 330k at its peak, and right now, he's worth 260k. It's a huge drop for a card which won and progressed to the next round. Another thing you can also trade is the fluctuations right after the draw. If they draw someone really easy, maybe say like Benfica, this card will go up a bit. But still, look, this is what happens when you hold, guys. There's right now in this week, there's not even any panic or promo cards coming out. It's purely people just panicking out of investment because the next game's not for an entire month. Champions League is really spread out this year because of this fixture scheduling. So you don't want to be holding these cards after the game, in all honesty, unless you see the right fluctuation. Here's another example, Calvin Phillips. Man City, was this the one when they drew? Yeah, so Man City, this guy came out, he started to shoot up in the hype. People expect Man City to go very far. They didn't win. If they won, this would have happened, but they drew, and he got dumped to like 550, slowly recovered, got dumped again with more content, and slowly risen. And guess what happened? This is the game on Tuesday, 730k. Look at his price now, 617. He got way lower than that. He got way lower to 595. That was the price where you buy, and that's why you didn't hold him to the game. Man City won like 7-0. Haaland scored like 5 goals or something, and still, that was not enough to get the price up. So again, same trend. Don't hold cards into the game. Favorite, underdog, whatever. Okay? Nuno Mendes. This is a slightly different example of a card. This is pretty much very similar to Lucas Moura. They got dumped out by Bayern. Bang, went really low, but very usable card with very usable links, and he did recover very nicely. As you can see, he's almost 350 from his low of 295, which I believe he got way lower than that. He got 275, you see? It's very usable, very good links, and so in turn he recovered as opposed to Marlon. Fofana again, so this is now, we're going on to a certain type, kind of a different aspect of it. This is an underdog, or a team that is currently losing. He rose in the hype for the game, and obviously they caused the upset. Well, not the upset, the unexpected or not guaranteed. And alternatively, the gamblers for once won. 257, he went up to 352. As you can see here, the game's finished, and look what happens after the game. He still drops after the game. So you might miss this rise, but who cares? This is the gamble rise. You don't want to be on this because this line is going to be like this, but it could be going down instead of up if they lose. So what you do is you wait for after the game, you let him trickle off, you let him low out at 336, and then you buy. Look, he steadily rises as he's going to get his upgrade, and now he's sat at 385. So you could have just waited till after the game, got the easy safe buy. He's up 50k. Obviously there's 20k tax. Still, 30k card, not too bad. Goretzka, they were winning 1-0 already against Bayern, against PSG. But I think people gave PSG a good chance of coming back, which obviously they didn't. And then this card just flew, and he also got a huge upgrade. This is another example of not an underdog, but like a 50-50 game going their way. With the first leg here, and this is the second leg. But you can still see, once again, this card is coming down. So you need to avoid these. Now we're going to go on to a different style of trading. These are cards which are already out, but they still have a second leg. They're not technically out, but they feel like they're out. Real Madrid were like 5-2 up against Liverpool. And what does that mean for the card, right? The card was heavily down from that game. You can see here, he took a big, it was over 2 weeks ago. You can see here, he was 1.7, all the way down to 900. And you'll see now, he was getting panicked into the game because Liverpool, although they beat Man United 7-0, whatever that game was. Was it 7? I think it was 7. They then lost to like a terrible team, and this card started to get panic sold. People didn't believe, but look, this is what you're looking for, this spike drop here. Basically, the loss had already been priced into this card. This card is a very good card still in game. It doesn't need any upgrades to be usable. More would have been better, but still. Because he was already so low before the game, he then got panic sold as soon as they conceded to seal the game. And look, he went down, he went way low, he went to like 700, I saw him at 600 and something, and bang, instant rebound because it had been priced in. Today, before you see this video, the game will obviously be done, and this card will probably be a bit higher than this, I'd imagine, depending on what day it is. If it's Thursday, you might see some panic selling for the new promo. I'm sure you're going to see a similar spike on this today. They're currently down by 3 goals against Man United, 4-1, and this card is pretty much flat, as you can see here. So this is what happened when they lost. 44, you could have bought. He went up to 56, you could have sold there, let him trickle on down, all the way as he's getting panic sold into the game because they have no chance, or they believe they have no chance. And guess what? 45k is going to be a fantastic buy price in my opinion. But you're just going to steadily rise. And if you're lucky enough, you get a spike drop like Firmino, and you buy that dip, and you let it ride all the way up. And you just see this card go up because he's got some great stats, better than Capdevila, as a lot of people have been telling me every single day. But generally, when it comes to live cards, you want to sell before the game. You basically ride the hype, sell right before the game or a few hours before the game. You watch the game. If you want a reaction trade, if there's a big underdog or something you think is going to fly, you can buy that. But then after the game, you always will see a dip. 99% of the time, I've rarely ever seen one where there isn't a dip. You let the cards dip. You buy that dip on stream, on Twitch, or on Discord or whatever, or with whoever you want. And once you time that low point, it's extremely easy to just watch this card steadily rise as long as you're in the right market conditions, which are pretty regular in all honesty, especially because these cards do get too cheap as they get sold off pretty heavily. Other than that, hopefully you enjoyed this video. You hopefully learned a few things about live card trading. You can apply all this logic to fantasy foot card trading too. Selling in the hype, buying after. If an upset happens, the card's going to get dumped. So the risk-free play is to always sell in the hype. Extremely easy income. You might not make the most, but like it's going to be easy and risk-free, which is the most important thing. Other than that, thanks for watching everybody. Like, subscribe, share the video, and give me any feedback in the comments. I stream twice daily on Twitch at 2:30 PM and 10 PM UK time. I have a free trade in Discord, and the link to all of those are in my description, along with my paid Patreon, if you want them to maximize and get the most possible tips that you can. Other than that, thank you for watching everyone, and I'll see you in the next one.